Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Inner Conquest, the world's greatest modern metaphysics channel of all time. Today I want to talk about reprogramming the subconscious mind. So when you have your mind, it's broken into two distinct parts. You have a conscious and a subconscious. The conscious is your decision-making faculty and ability to place your awareness on different types of thoughts, experiences, people, places, etc. That is commonly referred to as about 5% of your computing power. When you look at the other 95% of your mind, it is a supercomputer that is impersonal, meaning that if you have a personality, you are choosing what you like and what you dislike, right? So you have executive function, meaning that if you have a conscious mind, you're able to choose what you entertain and what you don't entertain on the screen of space, whether it be, what type of mental conversation you play out, what type of emotion you charge things with, or what type of mental movies you play. Your subconscious mind is the powerhouse of reality itself. Your subconscious mind is the 95% of your superhuman computer that actually executes the functions that the conscious mind impresses it with. So when you look at your body, right? So if you have a subconscious trauma in your nervous system, right? You may go into a room and react a certain way that a normal person wouldn't react, right? You're not deciding to react that way. It's embedded in your subconscious nervous system, which is your autonomic functions, which are your faculties such as breathing, such as, beating your heart or doing any type of motor function. Your subconscious is what is controlling and executing those things, right? So you don't think about breathing every day. You don't think about using your muscles to contract every time you walk. You don't think about these things. They're just executed for you. So when you understand that the subconscious's job is to execute these functions, you don't want to embark on a journey or go towards a goal that is against what your subconscious accepts or believes to be possible or true. And the reason for this is because if you use your mind to willpower and struggle against your subconscious, you're basically fighting that 95% of your body. So if you have a subconscious identity imprint in yourself that basically expresses yourself as being out of shape, but your goal is to be in shape, so you go, okay, enough is enough. Now I'm gonna go and work out every single day. Well, you could work out every single day and start to see some changes, but at the core root, if you don't change that subconscious identity, which is playing itself out, you'll have things happen like, oh my God, I was going so good, and then I fell off the horse and ate a bunch of stuff, and now I'm back to the same weight I was, right? Why does that happen? Why does your body default to that when you said that you wanted to be in shape? Well, it's because there's a subconscious paradigm that has you clocked at a specific identity. And without the repetition, that impression cannot be changed into a new identity. So when you have a subconscious mind, it is really the powerhouse of your mind, meaning that it is generating all of the, not just bodily functions that you have, but if you take it to a larger spiritual level, the reality at large, in that it is a storehouse of deep chronic emotions, right? So when you talk about impressing the subconscious mind, you're talking about impressing it from a repetitive affirmation or a repeated emotional standpoint. And once again, to use the trauma thing, right? Like if you really have a bad trauma and it gets impressed in your subconscious, that will stick with you and determine your habits, actions, and behaviors for your entire life. So there's a couple components to the subconscious. Number one is the identity with which your subconscious is impressed, right? What does your subconscious identify you as? Does it identify you as a winner? Does it identify you as a loser? Does it identify you as a victim? Does it identify you as a victor? Does it identify you as someone who always gets what they want, or does it identify you as someone who almost gets what they want but it's snatched at the last second? All of these different impressions are made over time in your subconscious, and they crystallize and become your dominant reality. So once you have this knowledge and you're armed with it, what you want to understand is that any goal that you're going after, it is important, in my opinion, to change your subconscious mind to have a favorable paradigm of perception about the journey and already being that person. So if your goal is to lose weight and look really good, right? Like, I owned a meal prep company till I was 25 years old, and I had all these people come in, and people would eat the same diets who were the same weights, and some people would lose weight and some people wouldn't, and I knew they did the same stuff because I tracked everything that they did. So what would hinder those individuals? Well, you could go and you could say, well, maybe it was their genetics, or maybe it was their whatever. It's their fucking mind. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to save everybody the journey. It's what they thought was possible and who they thought they were. Because if you have different associations around being overweight that are favorable, meaning that, like, if you have an assumption where if you're overweight, you don't have to exercise because exercise is painful, but you're not really aware that that's why you think that. That's just a chronic emotional state that every time you try to work out, you get pinged in your whole nervous system. Is that being a truthful reality, and you don't even know that that's the reason why you have that resistance to doing that thing? Well, you have this, what people would call is a block in terms of going forth and just doing something. You have a internal type of dynamic that's stopping you. So when you influence the subconscious mind, what you're really doing is you're looking at how you're feeding your mind on a daily basis, right? From an emotional and a thought standpoint. This is what the Garden of Eden is all about, right? Like, if the Garden of Eden is the perfect garden and your subconscious mind is a garden, what seeds are you planting in it? And in order to plant proper seeds, you want to be conscious. Conscious just means awake. And what awake means is that you're aware. So when you're aware of all of the different thoughts, feelings, and expressions that you're entertaining, you are going to begin to not just take those feelings, impressions, thoughts, and different mental phenomena at face value, but you are going to start to selectively choose the ones that are in alignment with your ideal. This is essentially called righteous thinking, right? So if you have the process of sinning means missing. If you're thinking from a assumption of a wish unfulfilled or what you don't want, that is a sin. That's a miss. It's not a moral thing. It is a inaccurate use of your mental faculties to create reality. If you live in the world that you have an assumption that your thoughts and your mental mechanics have a direct influence on physical reality, if you've already red-pilled yourself with that type of thought process, then any type of mental phenomena that is not in alignment with your ideal goal is a miss. So when you're completely asleep, you don't understand that what you are thinking and feeling is affecting your reality. You don't understand that thoughts have the power to create. You don't understand that your emotional mood is vibratorily attracting things to you that are just like it. So once you're armed with that knowledge, you have it intellectually. Now, when you go forth and decide that I want to be more of an ideal, whether that be financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationship-wise, or whatever, you designate the target that you want to hit, right? So I want to be amazing at this. Now, if you have the goal to be the world's best basketball player, and then the first thing that happens is you have a thought that goes, well, I'm too old, I'll never make the NBA. You just sinned. You just missed, because you're not thinking from the perspective of the world's greatest basketball player. If you were to think accurately from that preposition, you would think, wow, I am the world's greatest basketball player. I'm so happy and grateful now that I found latent abilities within myself that allowed me to bridge the gap in such a way that I am able to play at the most competitive levels of basketball, and I am able to do whatever I want to do within this realm of sport. That, while you will have immediate thought forms that will attack you and say, no, that's not true, no, this isn't true, that's where you get into the process of faith. Faith is loyalty to an unseen reality. And faith is based off of a decision. A decision means to kill all other alternatives, meaning that you focus, you selectively ignore everything but one thing. So when you focus, you decide, and you have faith, which is loyalty to that unseen reality. Having loyalty to an unseen reality means that your five sensory world comes second to your fourth dimensional world, which is your mind, meaning that your mind and your imagination and your internal dialogue and things of that nature are the root cause of what is creating reality, all backed up by your I amness, which is your awareness of what you are aware of being, so that when you refocus and invert your reality and put your strategy, which strategy is just how you prioritize levels of importance, on your awareness, coupled with what it's focused on in the fourth dimension, and then seeing the external world is simply a reflection of what that internal process is, now you've got it. But what comes with that is a level of discipline as well, to be able to quickly realize what your ideal is and then quickly shift into the version of you who is thinking who they have it, right? And that takes a little bit of time because your third dimensional reality has programmed you to be dependent on it, right? It's always trying to impregnate you with these circumstances, conditions, and labels and tell you who you are, what's possible, and all this other bullshit. But it's really just a reflection of what you believed in the past. If you understand that, and if you understand that a belief is simply a thought that is repeated with enough frequency to where it becomes normal and has no other contrasting thoughts opposing it, now you have the ability to start choosing the wanted thoughts that you have and disregarding the circumstantial evidence of the third dimensional reality around you. And what that does is that liberates you to be able to choose thoughts based on the merit of the thought, not on the likelihood of its actualization. And with that comes massive amounts of sovereignty, because with that comes the leverage over your mind that allows you to control events, people, places, and circumstances in a way from the unseen reality that 99.999% of people cannot do. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Guys, if you like this type of content, like, subscribe, leave a bunch of comments. Additionally, I have coaching in the link tree as well if you want to check that out. Other than that, go conquer. Have a wonderful day.